Minnesota Wild versus New York Rangers. The Minnesota Wild head into Madison Square Garden on Monday, desperate to halt a four-game losing streak, facing a surging New York Rangers squad that has started the season strong at 3-3-1. Minnesota, 2-3-1, sits at the bottom of the Central Division standings with just 5 points, while New York, 3-3-1, holds steady in the thick of the Metropolitan Division race. For the Wild, it's a chance to right the ship against an Eastern Conference contender. For the Rangers, it's about maintaining early season momentum and protecting their home ice advantage, where they're undefeated in regulation. Goaltending could define this matchup. The Rangers' Igor Shesterkin has been a wall to start the season, posting a 2-1-1 record with an immaculate 1.00 goals against average and a .962 save percentage. His steady veteran backup, Jonathan Quick, has also contributed effectively with a 2.03 GAA and .911 save percentage in limited action. Across the ice, Minnesota's Filip Gustavsson has struggled to find consistency, allowing 3.56 goals per game with an .888 save percentage, while rookie Jesper Wallstedt, despite flashes of promise, carries a 2.35 GAA and .909 save percentage. The statistical contrast underscores the pressure on the Wild to protect their crease early and often. If Gustavsson starts, he'll need his best effort yet to match Shesterkin's elite form, especially given New York's ability to capitalize on turnovers and transition chances. Offensively, the Wild will rely heavily on Kirill Kaprizov, who leads the team with 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists. His speed and creativity remain Minnesota's best weapon against New York's structured defense. Matt Boldy has been another bright spot, matching Kaprizov's goal total with 4 and adding 3 assists, though his -3 rating indicates the defensive lapses that have plagued the team. For the Rangers, Adam Fox continues to anchor both ends of the ice with 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, while Artemi Panarin has found his rhythm as a playmaker with 5 assists and a +1 rating. The offensive matchup tilts slightly toward Minnesota in raw production, but New York's balance and defensive discipline could prove decisive. Recent form tells a story of two teams headed in opposite directions. Minnesota has lost 4 of its last 5, including blowout defeats to Washington, 5-1, and Dallas, 5-2, and a frustrating 2-1 overtime loss to Philadelphia. Their only bright spot came in a 4-3 shootout win over Los Angeles. The Rangers, meanwhile, have rebounded from a pair of early losses with back-to-back wins over Montreal, 4-3, and Pittsburgh, 6-1. Shesterkin's sharpness and the team's renewed offensive spark have restored confidence. The Wild's road struggles, 1-2-1 away, make this a daunting trip, especially against a Rangers team that has yet to lose in regulation at home. In the standings, Colorado, 11 points, and Winnipeg, 8 points, already hold early separation in the Central Division, leaving Minnesota in chase mode. Every point counts if the Wild hope to stay competitive in a division loaded with depth. The Rangers, sitting mid-pack in the Metropolitan with 7 points, trail Carolina, 10 points, but are poised to climb quickly with another home win. Injuries could be pivotal. Minnesota is missing Bogosian, Sturm, and several young forwards, straining depth and defense. New York has Trocheck, Soucy, and Scanlon out, but their depth on defense and forward lines keeps them well-equipped. X factors include Minnesota improving a 15.8% power play and 70.6% penalty kill, while New York's 39% power play and 85.7% PK give them an edge. Kaprizov must create chances, but Shesterkin's poise and Fox's puck movement could decisively favor the Rangers. Prediction: Rangers 4, Wild 2. Analytics and momentum favor New York, with home dominance, strong goaltending, and special teams giving them the edge. Minnesota would need a standout Gustavsson and Kaprizov to pull off an upset, making it unlikely. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is New York Rangers winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Seattle Kraken versus Philadelphia Flyers in a compelling early season interconference matchup. The Seattle Kraken, 3-0-2, head to Philadelphia to face the Flyers, 2-2-1, on Monday in a battle that pits Pacific Division promise against a Metropolitan Division squad still finding its rhythm. The Kraken, riding the momentum of an overtime win over Toronto, sits second in the Pacific with 8 points, undefeated in regulation. Meanwhile, the Flyers, with a 2-1-0 home record, are treading water in 6th place in the Metro with 5 points, hoping their solid goaltending can offset recent defensive lapses. With both teams coming off close, emotionally charged games and rosters riddled with injuries, this matchup promises intensity and tactical depth. Between the pipes, Seattle is leaning on Joey Daccord, who has quietly impressed with a 3-0-1 record, a 2.39 GAA, and a .912 save percentage. Numbers that speak to consistency and poise under pressure. Philip Grubauer has seen limited action, struggling with a 2.77 GAA and subpar .870 SV%. On the other side, Philadelphia has found a short-term answer in Dan Vladar. The former Calgary Flame has posted a stellar 1.65 GAA and .934 SV% through 2 wins, proving reliable as a stopgap with Carter Hart still absent. Samuel Ersson, however, has faltered in limited time, allowing nearly 4 goals per game with an .849 save percentage. The goaltending edge belongs to Seattle based on depth, but Vladar's current form could tip the scales for a Flyers homestand. Offensively, both teams are anchored by hot starts from their blue line and depth scoring. For Seattle, defenseman Vince Dunn leads with 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists, showcasing his value as both a power play quarterback and transition engine. Jared McCann has also been a spark plug, netting 3 goals on 14 shots and maintaining offensive consistency. Meanwhile, Brandon Montour, despite being listed as out until November 1st, already registered 4 assists, including 1 on the power play. In his absence, others must step up to drive puck movement from the back end. Philadelphia's top scorer, Sean Couturier, has matched Dunn's 5 points, but is anchored more in two-way play. Owen Tippett is emerging as a dynamic threat, with 3 goals and 14 shots on goal. His finishing touch is improving noticeably. Trevor Zegras, acquired in a blockbuster offseason trade, is adjusting but still adds 4 assists and a team-leading +3 rating, showing his vision and offensive IQ even without scoring yet. Recent form favors Seattle, who have taken points in all 5 of their last outings, including back-to-back overtime contests. They edged Toronto 4-3 in overtime and narrowly fell to Ottawa in a shootout, signaling strong resilience on the road. Earlier, they outlasted Vegas and Anaheim in tight contests, establishing a defensive identity with just 2.60 goals against per game and a solid 75% penalty kill. Philadelphia, while winning 2 of their last 3, have been inconsistent, beating Minnesota and Florida, but falling heavily to Winnipeg and losing to Carolina in another OT battle. Their special teams are uneven, an impressive 83.3% penalty kill, but a meager 6.7% on the power play, dead last between the 2 teams. Standing stakes are high. Seattle trails Vegas by 2 points and needs wins to offset injuries. Philadelphia, behind Carolina and New Jersey with just 5 points, must protect home ice to avoid falling further in the Metropolitan. Injuries loom large. Seattle is without Montour, Gaudreau, Kakko, and Riker Evans, with Lindgren day-to-day. Philadelphia loses Ristolainen, Sampson, and Bonk, putting pressure on veterans Sanheim and York to stabilize the blue line. X factors include Seattle exploiting Philly's weak power play, goaltending battles between Daccord and Vladar, and Zegras finding his scoring touch alongside Tippett to challenge Seattle's defense. Prediction: Seattle 3, Philadelphia 2, OT. Despite missing key players, Seattle's form, depth scoring, and balanced special teams give them a 55% edge, though Vladar's performance could let Philadelphia steal it. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Seattle Kraken winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Buffalo Sabres versus Montreal Canadiens. In an early season Atlantic Division showdown, the Buffalo Sabres traveled to Quebec to face the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center on Saturday. Buffalo, 2-3-0, is still searching for consistency amid a bumpy start, while Montreal, 4-2-0, has surged out of the gate, sitting tied for second in the division with 8 points and looking every bit like a playoff contender. The contrast couldn't be sharper. A Sabres squad trying to solidify its rebuild under fire meets a Canadiens team buoyed by high-octane scoring and resilient goaltending. Fresh off a 3-0 shutout over Florida, Buffalo enters with momentum but will need to carry it into hostile territory. Montreal, despite a narrow 4-3 loss to the Rangers, has won 3 of its last 4 and is establishing itself as a legitimate threat in the Eastern Conference. The goaltending matchup could define this tilt. Buffalo's Alex Lyon, 2-3-0, has been steady, posting a 2.44 GAA and a .929 save percentage. He's not flashy, but reliable enough to keep his team in games. With Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen sidelined until October 25th, Lyon carries the crease duties solo, a critical test of endurance. On the other side, Montreal has split starts between Samuel Montembeault, 0-2-0, 3.26 GAA, .857 S%, and Jakob Dobes, 2-0-0, 1.48 GAA, .940 SV%. Dobes, the rookie sensation, has outplayed his counterpart and is expected to get the nod Saturday. If he starts, it's a classic veteran versus rookie standoff, with Lyon's experience facing the scorching hot glove of Dobes. The edge goes to Montreal if Dobes can maintain his poise against a Sabres offense that's been inconsistent but explosive in flashes. Offensively, the Canadiens have a clear edge. Cole Caulfield has opened the season on fire, racking up 8 points, 5 goals, 3 assists, with a staggering 17 shots. His nose for the net and ability to generate off the rush makes him a constant threat. Nick Suzuki is the Canadiens' catalyst in transition, tallying 7 points, 3 goals, 4 assists, quarterbacking their power play and driving top-line minutes. Montreal's depth has also come through with timely contributions, most notably in their 5-4 overtime win against Seattle and a statement 5-1 road win against Detroit. For Buffalo, Josh Doan leads the charge with 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists, showing flashes of the star potential the organization has hoped for. Jason Zucker brings a veteran touch with 3 goals and 13 shots, while Zach Benson continues to emerge as a playmaker with 5 assists and a team-leading +1 rating. But the offensive gap between the clubs is real. Buffalo averages just 2.60 goals per game compared to Montreal's 3.50. Recent form slightly favors Montreal, 3-2, with quality wins over Chicago, Seattle, and Detroit. Buffalo is also 3-2 but inconsistent, with defensive lapses reflected in a 2.80 GAA and 27.8% PK. Montreal's 3.00 GAA and 72.2% PK keep games close, while Buffalo's 27.8% power play, led by Benson and Zucker, could tip the balance. Standings heighten the stakes. Montreal trails Detroit by 2 points and could share the Atlantic lead with a win. Buffalo, in 6th with 4 points, aims to climb the middle of the pack and boost confidence in its young core. Injuries loom large. Buffalo is missing Danforth, Bryson, Norris, Meyer, and Luukkonen, leaving limited depth at center. Montreal has Lane, Dak, Gould, and Reinbacher out, but with a largely intact top 6, their lineup remains balanced and confident. X factors are goaltending, power play execution, and zone transitions. If Lion holds and Buffalo's top unit exploits Montreal's PK, the Sabres could compete. But with Dobes in net and Caulfield stretching defenses, Montreal's firepower and Suzuki's puck control may decide the game. Prediction: Montreal 4, Buffalo 2. The Canadiens' depth and goaltending edge, with Dobes starting, should prevail, though Buffalo may stay close early. Caulfield and Benson are key contributors, but Montreal's balance, home ice, and form give them the advantage. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Montreal Canadiens winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Winnipeg Jets versus Calgary Flames. A red-hot Winnipeg Jets squad travels to Alberta on Saturday to face the struggling Calgary Flames in a Western Conference showdown that pits momentum against desperation. At 4-1-0, the Jets are surging early in the 2025-26 NHL season, sitting second in the Central Division behind the undefeated Avalanche. Calgary, meanwhile, is floundering at 1-5-0, dead last in the Pacific, and searching for answers amid a brutal stretch of losses and defensive lapses. The matchup showcases a team on a winning streak. Jets have won 4 straight, against a club desperate to stop the bleeding after 5 consecutive defeats. Calgary will look to salvage pride and spark a turnaround at home, while Winnipeg aims to extend its win streak and keep pressure on Colorado in the central standings. In net, the Jets enter the matchup with a solid goaltending tandem led by Connor Hellebuyck, who holds a 2-0-0 record with a 2.52 goals against average, GAA, and a .915 save percentage. Backup Eric Comrie has also impressed in limited action, posting a 2.00 GAA and an excellent .943 save percentage in his lone start. Calgary's goaltending, by contrast, has been shaky. Dustin Wolf, expected to shoulder the load, has a dismal 1-4-0 record with a 4.30 GAA and an .854 save percentage, numbers that underline Calgary's defensive struggles. Rookie netminder Devin Cooley, in his only start, showed promise with a 2.29 goals against average and a .925 save percentage, but his limited sample size offers more questions than answers. Unless Calgary gets improved play between the pipes, they risk being overwhelmed by Winnipeg's potent attack. Offensively, Winnipeg is firing on all cylinders, averaging 4.20 goals per game while allowing just 2.40. The attack is spearheaded by Mark Scheifele, who leads the team with 9 points, 6 goals, 3 assists, and has been dominant with a 2-point-per-game pace and 14 shots. Scheifele's scoring touch and playmaking have been critical, and Kyle Connor has supported with 5 assists and a +4 rating, providing consistency and vision on the wing. Calgary, on the other hand, is averaging a meager 1.67 goals per game while surrendering over 4, the worst differential in the league. Nazem Kadri leads the Flames with 4 points, all assists, but his -6 rating speaks volumes about the two-way problems plaguing the team. Matt Coronado has been a bright spot, notching 2 goals on 12 shots, but Calgary's top-line production is simply not keeping pace with the league's elite. The Jets enter this contest on a tear, having won 4 straight, including recent blowouts over Nashville, 4-1, Philadelphia, 5-2, and the Islanders, 5-2. Their lone loss came in a tight 5-4 shootout against Dallas, and the team has yet to lose on the road this season, 2-0. Calgary is struggling, losing their last 5 games and being outscored 25-8. With the second-worst goal differential, 84 PIM, and a 73.9% penalty kill, the Flames' struggles are compounded. Winnipeg trails Colorado by 3 points in the Central with a game in hand, showing strong form and playoff potential. Calgary, struggling in a competitive Pacific, risks falling further behind, and a 6th straight loss would intensify urgency for a spark, Injuries factor in, with Winnipeg missing Lowry, IR, out October 28, Perfetti, IR, back October 24, and Samberg, IR, out November 23, though depth keeps them competitive. Calgary's sole injury is Pospisil, IR, limited role, may return Saturday. X factors include Scheifele dictating pace and finishing chances for Winnipeg, with Hellebuik providing a net advantage. For Calgary, strong goaltending and impact from Kadri and Coronado are essential, while discipline is key to surviving Winnipeg's 33.3% power play. Prediction: Winnipeg 5, Calgary 2. The Jets' depth, momentum, and special teams efficiency give them a clear edge. Calgary would need a miraculous goalie performance and flawless defense to challenge, making Winnipeg's 5th straight win the likely outcome. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Winnipeg Jets winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Carolina Hurricanes versus Vegas Golden Knights. As the NHL season rolls on, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights are set to face off in a high-stakes matchup at T-Mobile Arena on October 20th, 2025. The Hurricanes, currently riding a perfect 5-0 record, are leading the charge in the Metropolitan Division, while the Golden Knights sit just behind with a 4-0-2 mark, holding the top spot in the Pacific Division. With both teams in excellent form, this game promises to be a battle between two of the league's strongest early-season contenders, making it one of the most exciting matchups of the week. The main narrative revolves around the undefeated Hurricanes, who have dominated their opponents with a high-powered offense and solid defense. The Golden Knights, meanwhile, are looking to continue their unbeaten streak at home and further solidify their position as one of the league's top teams. With both sides boasting impressive rosters and momentum, this game is not just about the points on the line, but also the statement it could make for the remainder of the season. Goaltender matchup: Anderson versus Hill in net. The Hurricanes are led by Frederik Andersen, who has been stellar so far, with a 3-0-0 record, a 2.27 goals against average, GAA, and a .899 save percentage, SV%. Andersen's consistency has been a cornerstone of Carolina's undefeated run, though his save percentage leaves room for improvement against a high-scoring team like Vegas. For the Golden Knights, Adin Hill will start, holding a 1-0-2 record with a 2.86 GAA and an 8.82 SV%. Hill has shown flashes of brilliance but will face a tough test against Carolina's dynamic attack. Backup goaltender Anton Khudobin also provides depth for Vegas, with a .879 save percentage and a 3.00 goals against average should Hill struggle. Offensive leaders: Jarvis versus Eichel. Carolina's offensive firepower is led by Seth Jarvis, who has been on a tear with 8 points, including 6 goals, and a +2 rating. His offensive upside has been crucial to the Hurricanes' success, and he will be the primary focus for Vegas's defense. On the other side, the Golden Knights are paced by the red-hot Jack Eichel, who has 15 points in 6 games, including 5 goals and 10 assists. Eichel is looking every bit the superstar Vegas has been waiting for since his arrival, and he will be key to breaking down Carolina's defense. Pavel Dorofeyev, with 6 goals and 4 assists, provides additional scoring depth for Vegas, while Carolina's Shane Gostisbehere, 6 assists, plays an important role in quarterbacking the power play. Both teams enter in strong form. Carolina has won 5 straight, including close victories over New Jersey, Philadelphia, and LA Kings, while Vegas has won 4 straight, highlighted by dominant wins over Calgary and Boston. The Golden Knights' home ice advantage adds to their edge. Standings and playoff outlook. Division rivals at the top. Carolina leads the Metropolitan with 10 points, 2 ahead of New Jersey, while Vegas also has 10 points atop the Pacific. This matchup carries playoff implications, as both teams aim to maintain division leads and avoid early season slumps that could affect postseason positioning. Injuries and depth. Key players impacted. Carolina faces injuries to Gostisbehere, day-to-day, expected October 20, Slavin, out until October 28, and Kochetkov-Wynar, making depth important. Vegas has Hannafin, Howden, and Stone, day-to-day, expected October. 20. Dealing with injuries, with Stone's return providing a major offensive and leadership boost. X factors. Special teams and star performances. Special teams could be decisive. Carolina's penalty kill limits opponents to 13.6%, while Vegas allows 33.3% on the power play. Star players Jarvis and Eichel can swing the game, but secondary scorers like Gostisbehere and Stone will be key if they falter. Carolina looks poised to extend its unbeaten streak to 6-0, thanks to Anderson's consistency and a high-powered offense. Vegas, led by Eichel, will challenge them, but Carolina's depth, balance, and strong power play should secure a narrow 4-3 win. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Carolina Hurricanes winner. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.